Welcome to Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. So this morning, in honor of the Middle-earth readathon, hosted by Reese over at the Writing Songbird, there was a Middle-earth book tag created, and the creator's name just flew out of my head. I will put them right here, and I will link them down below. They created a Middle-earth book tag. Amanda did it the other day with Blake. It was quite fun. So I'm going to take a stab at it. Dave's at work, so he won't be making an appearance in this video. Clue is here to help. Yes, she is. She's here to help. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's also very cuddly and demanding this morning. So, let's get into it. First tag is Hobbits, homebody character. I love me a good homebody character. I probably could have named, more books than anybody has time to sit here and listen to me carry on about. So I limited myself to one. I am going to choose Samantha Washington from the Mystery Bookshop series by V.M. Burns. I love this series. I really do. She is a homebody. She lives above the bookstore. She hangs out with her family. Her family works in the bookstore. She solves mysteries with her grandmother and all her friends. This is a family-centered mystery. It is a homebody mystery. And I love this series. I really do. So, next prompt is Elves character who doesn't age normally. This, I could have chosen several. Amanda chose Wells. She chose The Witcher. I am choosing Tom Bombadil. Tolkien's own work. He definitely doesn't age normally. He definitely doesn't age at all. So that's definitely not normal. And he is a constant source of light in Tolkien. So I truly enjoy when Bombadil makes an appearance. Next prompt is Dwarves, a stubborn or loyal character. And for this, I am choosing Mark Maker by Mary Jessica Woods. And the main character's name is, I always have trouble pronouncing his name, Marikel. And he is incredibly stubborn and incredibly loyal all at the same time. And he stays true to himself. And the longer time passes from this book, from my reading it, the more I appreciate it. There are some books like that. This is definitely one. And I definitely recommend this book. I recommend it. Next up is Race of Men, a book with diversity in it. Now, I don't tend to notice things like that. It is not important to me as a reader. It isn't something I go and search out. It isn't something I think there needs to be an emphasis on. If your writing is strong enough as an author, it doesn't matter. So I am choosing, I'm inserting a picture right here, Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. All. And I am choosing this one as diverse because it is the story of Neanderthals that raise an orphaned human and her struggles to fit in with a tribe that isn't her own. And I read this book many years ago. I still love it today. And by many years ago, I mean I read it when it came out. So I will put the publication date right here. It was not recent. So that's my diverse book. Prompt number 5, wizard, a wise character. I am choosing In Pieces by Rhonda Ortiz, and I am specifically choosing the character of Mrs. Robb. And she is the mother of our main male protagonist. She helped raise our female protagonist. And she is a font of wisdom. And yet she is a font of wisdom that is in the process of realizing that she still has things to learn, and she still is capable of guiding her children, but is wise enough to know that they make decisions on their own for their own benefit. So, prompt number 6 is Gollum, a sympathetic villain. And for this, I am choosing Heart of a Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. I read this in February of this year. And this is probably the single book at the time of filming that has wrecked me the most emotionally. I was just a sobbing mess at the conclusion of this one. And the sympathetic villain is, you really think he's the villain, and you see glimpses that he's not. And that duology, the Celestial Kingdom duology, is amazing. Amazing. It truly is. It is truly amazing. It is a Chinese mythology retelling, and it blew me away. It truly did. It blew me away. Prompt number 7, eagles. Animals in the plot. I read a lot of books that have animals. So this was not difficult, but I didn't want to repeat an author in any of these prompts. So I am choosing Laurie Cass and the Bookmobile mystery series, and our main character is Minnie Hamilton, and Eddie the cat is along for the ride. He helps suss out, the dead body. He is integral to the story, and he is utterly charming and is just beloved in that book series. So the honorable mention here would have been the Dr. Kate series by Eileen Brady. I will link my video down below discussing the latest Eileen or Dr. Kate book, Murders of a Feather. Didn't take this place, even though it's about a veterinarian, because of that book. So, prompt number 8, Beorn, a mistaken or alternate identity. And in this case, I have loaned out my copy. I am choosing The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. And this is the first book in the Invisible Library series. And she is a librarian in the Invisible Library. And those librarians travel to different realities, multiverse versions of our world, and they have to blend in. So they have their identity as a librarian, and then they have their alternate identity within the world in which they're currently working. It is a steampunk fantasy series, and I enjoyed the first one. I started the second one earlier this year. I was not in the mood for it when I picked it up. I am probably in the mood for it now, so I need to pick that back up. Prompt number 9, Morgoth, a sinister character. And I am choosing Dune Messiah by Frank Herbert. Muad'Dib is the sinister character. There's no other word for him. He is just not the man he was in Dune. And he is not anywhere near a likable, relatable character. It has put me off Dune for a while. I need a couple of months before I pick up Children of Dune. Prompt number 10, Merry and Pippin, an iconic duo. And for that, I am choosing Daughter of Eden by Jill Aileen Smith. Adam and Eve, iconic duo. Where would humanity be without Adam and Eve? And I couldn't, even though they don't have enough interaction for me in this book, this does tell the story of Adam and Eve, more so from Eve's perspective than Adam's, obviously given the title. And it was, I will link my video down below. I enjoyed it. I had issues with it, but I still overall enjoyed the book. Prompt number 11, The Ring, a significant object in the story. I am choosing A Game of Hearts by Joanna Barker. And the significant item in this story is her bow. I read this in January of this year. I loved this book. It was unique in its setting. It was a wonderfully sure of herself, strong female protagonist. It was just delightful. It's a proper romance. It's a clean read. It was fabulous. I truly, truly enjoyed that book. Number 12, Hobbiton, simple, quiet lifestyle. That's me. That's all I really want in life, is a simple, quiet life. And for this one, I am choosing Fee in the Do-Over by Sharon M. Peterson. And really, all Fee wants is a simple life. She doesn't want the trappings of wealth that her mother prefers. She doesn't like big crowds. She is happy to stay at home in her jammies and just curl up. I adored Fee. She is a strong, funny female character who starts off incredibly weak and annoying, and you want to pitch the book for that. But I trust Sharon Peterson, and that trust pays off, and I will link my video review down below. And Fee is definitely the character that just wants the simple life. Prompt 13, Fellowship, Found Family. For that, I am choosing Recorder by Kathy McCrum. This is the first book in the Children of the Consortium series. Could have chosen book 2. I chose book 1 intentionally. So I chose book 1 intentionally because in book 1, Recorder makes a decision that goes against her entire life. She makes that decision, and it drives the rest of her life. And that decision leads her to something she's never had and never dreamed possible, and that is family, and that is friends, and that is self. And this is it. Children of the Consortium is just a fabulous series. I don't have other words for it. It's just a fabulous series. Prompt 14, Two Towers, a significant landmark. And for this, I am choosing Stormlight the fourth book in the Stormlight Archive, and this is the one where the city they discover is so essential to the book and how they move through it and how it affects the rest of the story going forward. And it is central to how that book progresses. And I loved it. I read it when it came out, so several years ago now. And yeah, it's amazing. Prompt 15, Return of the King, a royalty element. I do not read a lot of kings and queens type royalty books. I read a lot of dukes and below royalty books. But for this one, I'm going to choose the Eleanor of Aquitaine series by Elizabeth Chadwick. Putting the first book right here. These are phenomenal books. I devoured these one right after another when I read them years ago. I believe they're reviewed on my blog, and like always, my blog is linked in the description down below. But they are an amazing fictionalized account of the life of Eleanor and Henry and all that went with them that just changed the face of the world. And that's really what Eleanor and Henry did, was just change the face of the world. Prompt 16, the okay, I can normally say this word. Thanks, Amanda. The Silmarillion. A book that spans many years. I have many, many choices for this book, for this prompt. I have many books that span a very long period of time. I am going to choose Texas by James A. Michener because I'm in the process of reading Texas. So I'm going to choose this one. I'm not going to choose something I'm reading next year. However, I probably easily could have pulled from my physical shelves 10 books plus. I love me a good historical book, and the longer it spans, the happier my brain is. So, yeah, be thankful I'm limiting myself to one. Okay. Prompt number 17, potatoes. Memorable food. This has to be Hannah Swenson. I read a lot of cozy mysteries that have recipes in them. I read a lot of books that have food in them. So but I am choosing Hannah Swenson. This happens to be a plum pudding murder. I believe the 29th or 30th book in the series just released. These are easy to read cozy mysteries. Food is vital. I mean, after all, she runs a bakery in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. They all have recipes in the back. You know, they're not just sweet recipes. Like this is holiday squash soup, jeweled pork roast, cranberry scones. I mean, this is just a sampling from this book. And you can't have a Hannah Swenson mystery without food. It's impossible. Okay, prompt number 18. All that is gold does not glitter. A character or book that is more incredible than they first seem. For me, that is the wrong book, Tammy. Hang on, let me get the right one. An Alchemy of Masks and Mirrors by Curtis Craddock. I read this in September. Video link down below. Our main character is Isabel. You get hints very early on that she is amazing despite circumstances. She only grows in to being more incredible as the book goes on without being an over the top, god-like character. She's just Isabel, and she's not trying to be anything other than just Isabel. So, prompt number 19. You shall not pass. Series that should not have continued. For me, this is easy. This is very, very easy. Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I will link my video review down below of book 1 in that series. I do not understand why anyone reads it. It is not well written. It does not make sense if you actually love your spouse. It is a horrible book. I don't know how there's a 10th book in the process of being written. Yet I'm sure it'll be everywhere and I won't be reading it. Prompt number 20. I Am No Man. Book with an unexpected twist. For this, I am choosing Beneath a Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. This was my book club choice for the month of February this year. I will link my review of this book down below. This is a World War II historical fiction, and there are many unexpected twists in this book. The first one is the expected twist. It's still unexpected, but it's the expected twist that our main character, Pino Lello, joins the Nazis and fights on the sides of the Nazis and not his native Italian forces. But as that story goes on, there are many unexpected twists, and there are many times your heart will break. And there are many times in the reading of this book, and it's secular, by the way, you will see the hand of God in the book, and you definitely see the hand of God in the author's life. So I highly recommend reading Beneath a Scarlet Sky. Last prompt is number 20, Rings of Power, a controversial book. For me, that is going to be, last book is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Yes, it's very popular. Yes, I enjoyed it immensely. It's still controversial because it's not normally what I read. It's got spice way above what I'm comfortable with 99.9% of the time. However, that spice isn't gratuitous in this book, and it was fabulous. I will link that video down below as well. So those are all 21 of the Middle-earth prompts. There is the Middle-earth tag for Middle-earth October, and I'm not going to tag anyone. If you feel so motivated, join the tag. I want to thank Amanda and the lovely creators who I've listed down below for creating the tag, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub. Leave a comment down below, like, and subscribe.